What's up, beautiful world? This is TNA, Top Notch Audio, and welcome to another episode of r/pettyrevenge. Our first story will be cat food sandwiches, and then idiot manager lies to new employee and then gets made to look silly in front of most of his team. Followed by, so you're not in a hurry? Okay then, I guess you don't need to overtake, right? And next, petty revenge against petty shipyard security. And finally, keep on bullying me on Minecraft after I lose most of my stuff? Say goodbye to your hard work. If this is your first time listening, remember to hit that subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner. If this is not your first time, welcome back. Enjoy the stories. And this story is posted by u/Dr. Parkwood 1, cat food sandwiches. Back in 1987, I worked at a manufacturer of pressure vessels in Dayton, Ohio, with a pretty rough crowd of welders. In fact, most all of them were motorcycle club members. I worked in the office and would bring my lunch every day. I would put it in the office fridge. After a few months, my sandwiches started disappearing, leaving me a few carrots. After 5 days of theft, I decided that 1, I would keep my lunch at my desk, and 2, I will put a decoy sandwich in the fridge made of Wonder Bread and canned cat food. After 2 solid weeks of the decoy sandwich being taken, I made a final cat food sandwich, and in the sandwich put a note explaining the ingredients. The food theft ended after that. And this next story is posted by u/downright Drewski. Idiot manager lies to new employee and then gets made to look silly in front of most of his team. I was working at a dodgy retail place where I'd been told I could earn commission, and they told me how that worked. You had to hit a particular figure, but once you got commission on everything. I was very careful to clarify that this included the threshold amount, not just everything over that figure. The figure was pretty high for what the shop was, but I figured it was possible with a bit odd hustle. This place was miserable. It was basically a high street pawn shop in the UK, and the manager was an utter cockwomble. However, I was young, needed a job, and thought I could earn okay money with commission. Get a couple weeks in and I hit the threshold for the first time. Great. Keep hitting it in the following weeks whilst I'm waiting for that first paycheck with my nice little commission bonus pay to start rolling in. I get the first pay slip with the commission, my jaw drops and crushing disappointment sets in. This is only payment on the sum after the threshold. The cockwomble lied to me. Needless to say, I'm pissed off at this point and I realize there's nothing I can do about it. The manager is a git and he's not going to admit his lie or change it. This is when I started looking for another job ASAP. I was lucky and found a better job in a little over a week, better pay, easier to get to. Result. I wrote my letter of resignation accepting that I had to give a week's notice and then work it. Annoying, but not really an issue. I did think it would be fun to call him on it though, and not just in private, but in front of as many staff as possible. Fortunately, we had a daily staff meeting where we basically stood around for a couple of minutes. Perfect time. At the end of the day, I seized my chance. Me is me. CWM is cockwomble manager. Me. Why did you tell me commission was on the full amount instead of just the amount over the threshold? CWM. I didn't. Me. Yes, you did. If you remember, I specifically clarified this with you. It's the main reason I took the job. CWM. I didn't say that. Shouting a bit by this point. Me. Yes, you did. I wouldn't be here if you hadn't. CWM. You're calling me a liar? You're fired. Me. Funny that. I was about to give you this. I then pulled out my letter of notice and showed it to him. To my immense satisfaction, this was met with a round of applause from most of the rest of the staff. The best bit though, because he fired me, they paid me for that next week without me having to go in. And this story is posted by u/avenged. So you're not in a hurry? Okay then, I guess you don't need to overtake, right? A bit of context. Right-hand drive country, rightmost lane on the freeway is the fast and overtaking lane, and you're to give way to faster vehicles regardless of how fast they're going, even if you're at the speed limit. Basically, you have no right to police anyone's speed as a civilian. Unfortunately, half the drivers here will happily hog the right lane even with the road ahead clear, and justify it as being within the speed limit, totally ignoring the rule about giving way. It's almost a daily occurrence, and frankly, it's frustrating because these guys just like to be on the fast lane without actually being fast, so they choke up everyone else behind. It's not uncommon to see a whole line of drivers picking up when the one hogger ahead finally changes lane, not because he realized how selfish he was, but simply because it was time for him to exit. So anyway, there I was driving home today when I see this driver doing exactly that. In fact, he was easily 10 below the limit. No one ahead for a long way. Some traffic on the left 2 lanes, so it wasn't exactly an empty freeway either. I wait for an opening on the left, drop 2 gears, and overtake him. Then I ease off the throttle and cruise even slower than he was doing. Road hogger gets annoyed after a while and switches to the middle to overtake, but I'm prepared for that, having scouted the road in front. A little ahead of me are slow vehicles in the middle and left lane, a small truck in the middle lane, and 2 bikes on the left going parallel to each other, all 3 doing 20 or 30 below the limit, side by side. Perfect. I drop 2 gears and make sure to keep pace with the road hogger, modulating my throttle input until I'm about rolling up alongside the small truck, and then I let off the gas and pace the 2 slow vehicles in a very lazy 5th gear. Road hogger has absolutely nowhere to go on the 3-lane carriageway, and we continue chilling way below the limit until it's time for me to get off the freeway. Drop to 4th, undertake actually, and I'm on my way home. Petty as F, maybe. Do it again? Absolutely. P.S. I did check occasionally to make sure I wasn't holding up any innocent driver, just this one guy. And this story is posted by u/Big Bad Beef, Petty Revenge against Petty Shipyard Security. I work in a shipyard. COVID has seen some pretty harsh measures which I actually endorse since the shipyard attracts workers from all over the world. One of these measures lists the maximum amount of people that can occupy the elevator at once. Only 3 can use the elevator at any given time, but only 1 if you transport materials alongside. Cue the petty fireman. Me and my coworkers, were going up the elevator. We had a metal bar with us. That does technically constitute as material transport, but that bar is barely 40 millimeters in diameter and 1.5 meters long. Not a problem for creating a COVID risk situation. As soon as we reach our floor of choice, a fireman was standing outside and gave us a write-up for violating COVID safety measures. That basically means that our next offense will result in a temporary ban from the yard. I was very angry and I go into full-blown petty revenge mode. I grab a size 20 long bolt and carry it with me for the rest of the work, waiting for an opportunity to stick it to the fireman. Just as my shift has ended and wait for my elevator, the very same fireman queues up behind me. The elevator opens, I enter, the fireman tries to follow. A grin comes into me face as I stop him and show him the bolt. He looks like an idiot as I tell him, "Material transport, your rules. Now get out or I'll report you to your superiors." Best moment of satisfaction ever. Edit. I can understand why it might be confusing for someone who endorses the rules to take revenge on someone else for enforcing them. The problem is that those rules are loosely written and open to interpretation that can be used as a hammer for disrespectful, grumpy security to abuse and beat down on unsuspecting workers as a means of venting their frustrations. I endorse the rules because they provide work viral security to which is otherwise a germ-spreading environment. I feel no remorse and would even shove that bolt right up his butt and tighten it with a wrench if it hadn't got me into jail. And this story is posted by u/GodVolk4N. Keep on bullying me on Minecraft after I lose most of my stuff. Say goodbye to your hard work. So me and my brother played in a Minecraft realm. We played for a week and both of us had some pretty good diamond loot. My brother had a full slave villager system to get lots of enchanted books. One day when I came back to my house, a creeper blew me up. I realized that my house wasn't 100% spawn proof and blew up my bed in the process. So I spawned at my default spawn point. When I got back to my house, I realized that my diamond tools were destroyed by the creeper. And then my brother started laughing in the other room. I punched him once, and then he started his killing spree. He would kill me with his enchanted diamond sword many times. Each time, I lost even more XP in my stuff. And he knew I couldn't do anything, as he is basically a guy with all his enchanted stuff. Once he left, I started my revenge. The super petty revenge. My brother had a giant spruce tree farm so he could make sticks to trade with the Fletcher, so I accidentally dropped my flint and steel there. Then I stomped up his wheat farm, but the grand prize was when I stole all of his important stuff. I took his many stacks of emeralds along with his enchanted books and table along with other stuff that was in his chest. He hadn't moved into his house yet, so the chests were in plain sight. I then put them in a chest under my own house so he wouldn't find it for a very long time. When both of us logged back on, he started raging and attempted to kill me. I had a totem in case this happened, asking me where were his stuff. He started raging as all of his hard work to making lots of emeralds and enchantments were gone. I mean lots of sharpness V and mending books. So I made up a story that some pillagers stole it. We were raided by some pillagers a few days ago, saying that it could have been a new thing in the 1.16 update. But here's the catch. That fool actually bought it. He actually believed me. So that's my petty revenge. If this doesn't deserve to be petty, I'll go find a super petty revenge to put this in. Those were 5 great stories. To hear the best stories of the week, click on the video in the top left-hand corner. To hear more Reddit stories all related to what you just heard, click on the video in the top right-hand corner. If you have not already done so, click on the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. Once again, this is TNA, Top Notch Audio. Thank you for listening and have yourself a great day.